Good evening, everyone. My name is Devin Morales, and today I'm going to be talking about the legend Bob Marley. As the first major rock artist to come from a third world country and introduce reggae through a rebellious state, Bob Marley is forever and will be. Keep going. Good evening, everybody. My name is Devin Morales, and I'm going to be talking about the legend Bob Marley. As the first major rock artist to come from a third world country and introduce reggae through a rebellious state, Bob Marley is and forever will be an inspiration to many individuals in the world. Many mistake him to be just an image of drugs, marijuana, and music, but realistically, Bob Marley is a figure who stood for much more than that. With the help of the historic band The Wailers, Bob Marley created his own genre of reggae and music that changed the world. Marley was first born in 9 Mile, Jamaica, but as a child, him and his mother were moved to Trenchtown, Jamaica in 1957. According to William Nash from the American National Biography, Marley had always dreamt of being a musician, with the help of his childhood friend Neville O'Reilly, also known as Bunny Livingston. Marley and Livingston met Winston Hubert McIntosh, also known as Peter Tosh, and began harmonizing with each other, creating the Wailers. Bob Marley grew to be a locally prestigious reggae artist with the help of the Wailers, and began success in 1963 when they first released their single. The emphasis on Bob Marley sprang partially from his charismatic personality and partially from his vision of the Wailers' importance, stated by William Nash. Bob Marley was influenced by the culture and belief of Rastafarianism and believed that Haile Selassie was the true Messiah leading the Rastafarians to Ethiopia, also known as the land of the free for colored people. Stated by William Nash in his article, although Rastafarians were native to those who lived in Jamaica, Marley has been able to spread the word of Rastafari. Explained in the article Rastafari by Elizabeth A. McAllister, the Jamaican Rastas were descendants of Africa and were converted to Christianity in Jamaican missionaries, using the King James Version of the Bible, in which they still use today Rastafarianism to define the true word of God. Entering into the 70s, Bob Marley and the Wailers continued their success throughout Jamaica and throughout the world. Rolling Stones magazine emphasizes on how Bob Marley and the Wailers opened up their first album, Catch a Fire, to the world, featuring many different musician stars. Later, their recognition was brought abroad when Eric Clapton did a 1974 version of I Shot the Sheriff. The first overseas tour was in 1973, but Tosh and Livingston had left to do their own solo careers. Marley expanded the instrumental section of their group and brought a female trio called the I-Threes, which included his wife, Rita, stated by Rolling Stone. As Bob Marley and the Wailers traveled the world, they created more and more of their top hits, such as No Woman, No Cry in 1975, Exodus in 1977, Waiting in Vain 1977, Jamming 1977, and Is This Love in 1978. As Bob Marley was a figure of freedom and peace throughout the world, his actions made him an inspiration to people as individuals. He represented himself as someone who did things because he wanted to do it for them, and for the love of other people, and for no greed of money or no greed of riches, but for the music and his fans that love him dearly. Expressed in the article Bob Marley Lived by Mark Jacobson, it is stated that while traveling almost anywhere, it is hard to see someone not wearing a Bob Marley shirt or not listening to a Bob Marley CD. Bob Marley also created several different quotes that are used throughout everyday life by who he all influenced. Quoted from the webpage Goodreads, one of Bob's popular and most influential quotations was, "The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones worth suffering for." Bob believed that the things you do and the people you love are the ones you should fight for and should stand up for and show the utmost respect. Bob Marley passed away in 1980 when he collapsed while jogging in a New York Central Park. Stated by Rolling Stones, Marley had developed a brain, lung, and liver cancer. This illness had killed him 8 months later after they found him. To finish off my exploration about the legend Bob Marley, I wanted to state how passionate and loyal Bob was to his music, his fans, and to his faith. Bob Marley showed the world through his music how being who you are and loving one another, brought freedom and created a better world to live in. There were and will always be thousands of people playing his music. My favorite song by Bob Marley was Buffalo Soldier, for it demonstrated the truth, the history of his people and the world. Another song that reached the ears of millions was Redemption Song, for that too showed the world the truth and reality. Bob Marley and the Wailers created reggae and brought it to all the nations to share the message of freedom and peace. And that is my speech of the legend Bob Marley.
Yay.